We are live and hello everyone. It's Monday and we know that on Mondays all roads lead to book club, and I pray that you had an amazing weekend. I don't know what you did, but I feel like alive, right? And this weekend we had church. We visited a few restaurants that we had not been to before. We got some cleaning and purging done here in the house. I don't know. But as you're logging on, let me know what city, what state, what country you might be logging in from so that we can shout you out. And this is a good time for all of us to take the link. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to take the link right now and I'm going to go ahead and send it to a few of my folks, my friends and loved ones. And I'm going to let them know that we are live because sharing is caring. So as you're logging on, let us know what city, what state, what country you're logging in from. And if you are ready to elevate your mind, to grow to the next level, I want you to comment, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, because that's going to get our minds open and ready to receive. So I'm going to take a second and I'm going to go ahead and post that book club is live and let people know that we are live. I'm going to post it and I want you to post it. And then what I want you to all to do is I need you to put those hashtags in the comments. We know what we do because we want to make sure that people that are book lovers or people who want to or aspire to be a book lover or a reader meet us here on book club. So we know that book club is important. And the reason why book club is important in this is these are not in any order of importance, but it's important because we cannot pour from an empty cup. So I am here every single Monday to fill your cup. One of the other reasons why book club is so important is because leaders are readers. And if we desire to lead in any capacity, whether it be in our homes, in our businesses, just in life in general, in our communities, then leaders are readers. We must equip our minds with more knowledge so that we are growing and learning and evolving. And then another reason why book club is so important is because we're never going to earn more than we learn. That one's pretty self-explanatory. In order for our money to go up, we must go up. So again, if you're ready to go up, I want you to type I'm ready in the comments. Now, share this live. I am Nina Moore and I am here with you every single Monday unless there's a holiday. So that we can grow together. I am affectionately known as the Wellness Queen, and I have been hosting this book club. I'm talking about Bible study, which is Saturday, virtually. But I am going to invite 5 women to my home to be here live for Bible study on Saturday. But we'll talk more about that at the end of this book club. But I've been hosting book club now, going into year number 6. We're going into year number 6, or actually, we just hit year number 6. We started right back in 2019 when COVID hit. And I am super excited because I have seen people grow in leaps and bounds. So we're currently reading Born Rich by Bob Proctor. And I don't know about you all, but we knew this was going to kind of kick our butt a little bit, but in a good way, because this is literally going to catapult us from where we are to where we want to go. And what's so dope about this particular book is by using methods of finding things that are already inside of us. So let's go ahead and dive in because I got to go straight to a podcast from here. All right. So let's make sure we're sending this link out, letting people know that book club is live. If you're in other groups, let them know that they are invited to be here with us. We're starting chapter 2 of Born Rich. I don't know if any of you all are excited about being wealthy, but I'm not just talking about wealthy in your health. I'm talking about wealthy in your money, in your finances, because guess what? Money answers all things. How much is enough? Most people think that they want more money than they really do, and they settle for a lot less than they could get. Earl Nightingale. Most people think they want more money than they really do, and they settle for a lot less than they could get. So to get this prosperity concept into high gear, you must be specific. To get this prosperity concept into high gear, you must be specific. Go ahead and type in the word specific in the comments. Now let's go ahead and check and see, what does the word specific mean? Let's go ahead and we're going to define a few words tonight, but let's go ahead and find out what is the definition of specific. Because I believe that we have to make sure that we understand what we're reading. We know exactly what we're reading by defining those words. So the definition of specific means clearly defined or identified. Clearly defined. So the book says that to get this prosperity concept into high gear, we must be clearly defined. We must be clear. You have to know what you want. You have to be intentional. Success is not just going to hit us. I'm not stuck. Success is not just going to hit us. We have to pursue it like you was pursuing that man or that pocketbook or that trip or that hookah lounge or that girl or that outfit or that hairdo or them bundles or that jewelry. Intentional. We have to intend on flourishing. We have to intend on growing. We have to intend on it. So clearly, and we have to be clearly defined. So to get this prosperity concept in high gear, you must be specific. I also want to define what is the definition of rich. Born rich. We were born rich. Definition of rich means plentiful, abundant. It means having a great deal of money or assets or wealthy. Plentiful, abundant, producing a large quantity of something, pleasantly deep or strong. Producing a large quantity of something, plentiful, abundant, rich. So we were born, wait a minute, born rich. I want everybody to understand this book says born rich, meaning that you were born having a great deal of money or assets, wealthy. You were born plentiful and abundant. You were born producing large quantities of something. You were born pleasantly deep or strong. You were born, born, it's already there. So let's go back to the book. Exactly how much money do you want? You know, when we ask that question, there are a lot of people that don't know. They'll just say, like, I just want to make a lot of money. Well, what is a lot of money? You cannot, when we aim for a target of nothing, we hit it every single time. So what is it that you want? How much money do you want? How much money do you want to earn every single month? And the reason why you haven't hit the target or even gotten close to it is because you don't even know. You haven't written it down. You think that you have. Oh, I want to make $40,000 a month. Do you really? So here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about how much money you've earned. What is the largest amount of money that you've earned in a year? Okay? Or in a month. And then I want you to think about the work that it entailed. What kind of hours or what kind of energy that you have to put into earning $5,000 for the month, $2,500 for the month, $100,000 for the year. What kind of work went into that? So in order to achieve, let's just say you earned $100,000, or let's just say your highest month has been $5,000 a month, right? 6,000, 7,000, 8, whatever, 10,000. Let's just say your biggest month of income earning, especially if you have other side businesses, maybe it was $10,000 for the month, but you're saying, I want to make $40,000 a month. Well, what you did to earn $10,000 a month, now you got to 4X it. So do you really want to earn $40,000 a month, or is it cute? Are you just saying it? So I already know that I'm going to be at $100,000 a month. So in order for me to be at $100,000 a month, my day to day, I don't even know how I get done some of the things. I've cooked dinner. I've gone to the grocery store. I had an appointment this morning. I've patched some people. I've sent out orders. I've, y'all, cleaned out the refrigerator. I've put in business partners. I've put up all kinds of information for the team that I lead. And I have book club, podcast, corporate call. Oh, and I had another corporate Zoom earlier today. I have book club, podcast at 7, corporate call at 8, and a vision Zoom at 9. Because I know that I want to make $100,000 a month. So it's cute that we say we want to earn $50,000 a month, $40,000 a month. I want to retire my husband. Do you really? I'm not stuck. I'm not fussing. You are working with your subconscious mind. And the subconscious does not think. That is the problem. The subconscious does not think, but you want to think. And the subconscious doesn't think. So you think that you can only tell it what's practical. You think that you can only say out of your, because you're so black and white, you don't know how to dream. Because you're so black and white, you don't understand that you have to think bigger than where you are right now, or you will stay where you are right now. And you have to tell your mind that you're stinking filthy rich. And you have to see yourself. I heard Tanisha on a video earlier saying, some of y'all claim you want a Rolls Royce, but you'll never go to the Rolls Royce dealership and sit in a Rolls Royce. Because in your mind, you're saying, well, I can't afford it, so why would I go test drive it? Why would I go to the Rolls Royce dealership? Why would I do? Because I know I don't have the money. You have to see it before you see it, so you can seize it. And so your subconscious mind doesn't think. We're not even out of the first paragraph yet. I got a hard stop today, y'all, at 6:45, okay? Hard stop, because I got a podcast at 7. So your subconscious mind does not think. Your subconscious doesn't think. It merely accepts images and then moves them into form. So while you're sitting around and you're just going after everything you already got, your mind doesn't have any work to do. So you know what happens? Because you haven't given your mind anything to do, you gain weight, you're depressed, you're sad, you're anxious, because you won't write it down. You won't do what the Bible says. Write the vision, make it plain, so that them that read it can run with it. You won't do any of those things, so your mind doesn't know what to do. You haven't put anything out into the atmosphere. It merely, the mind does not think. Mary, this is so good. It merely accepts images and then moves them into form. Let me tell you, I was not a great speaker all of my life. Actually, I was terrible. And I'm still not the greatest speaker. I still have room for improvement, which is why I have a mentor, which is why I'm I'm going to entrepreneur speakers classes, why I've sat and I've purchased it once and hosted twice. I sit in the class the entire time. I don't go upstairs. I'm not sitting on my phone. I'm there to learn 3 times. Because I want to get better at my craft. So I'm chasing after it. But I wasn't always a good speaker. But I had to keep doing it, even though I was not doing it that great, in order to get good. That is the problem, that because we're not good at a thing, we won't keep going at a thing. We won't keep doing it because we don't want to look bad, because we're not good in that area. We want everybody to see us as this great phenom because we're so great in all of these other areas of our lives. But in the areas that we're weak in, those are the areas that you need to be working on. If you continue to work on the areas that you're strong in, you'll never get stronger in the areas that you're weak in. So I had to start speaking, even though I wasn't that good, even though I didn't even know what was the format. I was just up speaking. I didn't know that there was a format to speak. I've been doing Zooms for 15 years of my life. And I'm just learning now that I've been doing a lot of it all wrong. And I've had the level of success that I've had, and I haven't even been doing a great job. It merely accepts images and then moves them into form. So for you to say, I want lots of money, says the book. It isn't good enough because no one, least of all, the subconscious mind knows how much lots of is. I want a lot of money. I want to earn a lot of money. I want to make a lot of money. No one knows what that is. You don't know what that is, and the subconscious mind doesn't know what that is. I strongly recommend that you get very serious about this chapter. Chapter 2, how much is enough? Because the idea it contains could change your life. But understand that thinking by itself is not enough. Go ahead and type, it's not enough. It's not enough. Thinking by itself is not enough. You must move into action. You know, every time the producer is getting ready to start the movie, he says, lights, camera, what y'all? Action. Action. Because it's not enough. It's not enough that you did good in another company. It's not enough. What do you want? I know what I want. It is clear. 1,000 business partners, 1,000 customers this year, and $100,000 a month. Immediately. Because thinking by itself is not enough. We move into action. There are certain things that you must do. And the first one is to decide, how much money do you want? How much money do you want? How much money do you want? If you guys are ready to elevate your money, come on, let me see you type I'm ready in the chat. Let me see you say I'm ready in the chat. I only want people with that kind of energy in my space. If you're ready, you got to type, and some of y'all got to move faster. You move too slow. Take action, because opportunities are not waiting for you. Opportunities are not waiting for me, Cheryl. Opportunities, Janet, they're not waiting for us. To answer this question, it will probably be a good idea for you to decide, what do you want the money for? So now you want to think, how much money do you want and what do you want the money for? To simply say, I want the money to live on is not good enough. You should realize our society is structured in such a way that the government will keep you in most places that will even mail a check to you. You can sit at home and receive a living wage. At this point, you are probably saying to yourself, oh, yes, I know that, but I want to live better than that. Well, let's get specific. How much better? How much better do you want? You can't just say, I want to live better than that. I want more than that. Well, what is more? How much is that? How much is the more? How much is it? You got to get better than that. Well, let's get specific. How much better? Bearing in mind that this kind of an exercise is going to require some serious planning on your part. Get out a sheet of paper and draw up a list of all the things or activities that you plan to spend money on over the next year. To assist you in getting started, I have outlined several sample categories. So in the book, it says you line up, you get a piece of paper, you draw a line in the middle or fold it, right? And you write down, what do you plan on spending money on over the next year? Food, rent or mortgage, lease, clothes, automobile, utilities, education, vacations, recreation, insurance, and savings. There are investments, right? Your investments, your business. What do you want? You want home repairs. Whatever it is, you want a new vehicle, write it down. What do you plan on spending money on over the next year? There are just a few of many possibilities, so keep working on your own list until it is complete. Do not fill in the amounts that you are now spending. Do not. Rather, take each item on the list and visualize how you want to live, and then fill in the amount of money that it will cost you to do so. For example, you might only go out to a nice restaurant to dine on very special occasions, but you might visualize yourself spending a very enjoyable evening out for dinner once a week, where the service is excellent, the food is even better, and the environment is fit for royalty. How much would that cost? That is the figure that you're looking for. You could be driving a car that is getting old and is showing signs of rust. You might visualize yourself driving a brand new car of your choice that you trade in every year or every 2 years. How much would that cost? See, I already know, y'all. I lease my cars because I'm not keeping it more than 3 years. Ever. I don't want it. Because I'm a king's kid. And because I was born rich, I have the right to drive in a newer vehicle because I have that right, because I was born rich. See, because I know who I am, I understand that I was already born that way. I know who I am. I don't have to accept that I just want to stay in my car forever. Well, I mean, it's paid off. I don't want a car note. You do not have a contract to live forever. You do not have a contract to live forever. Nor is this a practice run. This is your life, and you should be enjoying it to the fullest extent humanly possible. Therefore, you should have the amount of money you need to provide the things that you want to live the way you choose to live. At this point, it would not be unusual for your mind to be playing tricks on you. You could be thinking, this is really crazy. I am never going to have the money to live the way that this book suggests. I want to remind you, however, that many people do have enough money to live the way this book suggests, and they weren't born with it, and no one left it to them. They were born rich in the sense of having the God-given potential to succeed. And the book says everyone is. But like most people, they were at one time short of money. Understand that you too can succeed, and you will. If you are ready to succeed, type I am. Let me see you type I am, or me. Let me see you put it in the chat. Let me see you put it in the chat. Because some of y'all got to start making declarations now as if it's already happened. Make the declaration. If you're ready, so what? You're living good right now. There's always another level. That's what I was telling all of the entrepreneurs that I was hosting for last week. There's always another level. Everyone in that room had like $10,000 offers, $15,000 offers, $20,000 offers, $5,000 offers. Every person in that room was already an entrepreneur. I said, but it's now time to go to the next level, because there's always another level, and another level requires another level of us. Understand that you too can succeed, and you will if you will only do as this book suggests. As I am writing this, says Bob Proctor, I feel compelled to digress for a few lines to remind you that you have great resources of talent and ability locked up within you, just waiting to be expressed. In this vein, I can vividly recall listening to a tape a number of years ago that Earl Nightingale made on attitude. I must have listened to that tape hundreds of times. There was a part on it where he said, now right here we come to a rather strange fact. We tend to minimize the things we can do, the goals we can reach. And yet, for some equally strange reason, we think others can do things that we cannot. Earl went on to say, I want you to know that this is not true. You do have deep reservoirs of talent and ability within you, and you can have the things that you want. I wouldn't even want to speculate on how many times I heard that section without really understanding what he meant. Then one day I heard it, and every cell in my brain seemed to resonate with the truth of what he said. I suddenly realized what he was driving at, and I knew deep down inside of me, if they can do it, so can I. So can I. If they can do it, so can I. Because God is not a respecter of persons. And because God is not a respecter of persons, if they can do it, so can I. If you know that it's your season, type I in the comments. Type it in the comments, y'all. I know you're probably saying, why she got us typing? So because I want you engaged. I want you engaged, and I want you in a space right now where you're going to make it happen. No more sitting around waiting for life to come happen, waiting for the prince to come on his horse, riding in to save you. Nobody's coming to save us, Misha. Nobody's coming to save us, Tracy. Nobody's coming to save us, Mary, Cheryl, Tedra, Deborah, Marguerite, Aunt Carol, Tamara Dunn, Raphael, Janet. No one's coming to save us. Tara, no one's coming. If it's going to be, it's up to me. So I got to wake up. I've got to snap out of it. And I've got to say, wait a minute. I was born rich. I was born having a great deal of money or assets, wealthy. I was born wealthy. I was born plentiful and abundant. I was born producing a large quantity of something. I was born with greatness already inside of me. I'm not waiting for nobody to come, Shay. I'm not waiting for that because I'm already born rich. It's already inside of me. So Earl went on to say, I want you to know that is not true. You do have deep reservoirs of talent. I wouldn't even want to speculate on how many times I heard that section without really understanding what he meant, right? Then one day he heard it. I suddenly realized what he was driving at. And I knew deep down inside that if they could do it, I can too. So please understand that you can do it too. Because what Earl had to say is as true of you as it was of me. But part of the price for you is to figure out what you want. What do you want? Maybe you want to make enough money to have a private chef prepare your meals fresh every day for you, not to where you pay for them and then you got them in a little plastic container sitting in your refrigerator all week long. You know, we gave a friend of ours a ride home about a week ago. We had gone in the pouring down rain. They had asked me to come play cards. So Paul was like, it's pouring down. I'm going to take you. And he and I and Paul and Paige got in the car and we went. And our friend owns a home theater in his home. And the home theater, I think the television, and I believe that Paul is managing this, the back office for the backside for this. I believe the screen was like $100,000. I don't know. I don't know. It was something crazy. Maybe I don't know if I'm wrong about the number, but it was high. Paul, if you're listening, how much was the screen in the theater? $50,000. I'm sorry, $50,000. Just the screen in the movie room. The screen in the movie room was $50,000. And when we left, it started pouring down raining. Are y'all listening? Does everybody still hear me out there? Because I really want y'all to hear, because sometimes you got to understand, oftentimes we don't elevate just because the people that are around us in our circles, and even the people in your home, the people that where you're listening to them talk, it keeps you fixed in the way that you think. Listen to this. So when we were getting ready to leave the card party, I guess it's what they were watching, the basketball game, New York against, I don't know, whoever, right? And playoffs. And we were getting ready to walk out the door. It starts pouring down raining. And Nehemiah drove his Lamborghini to the card party. Just jumped in his Lamborghini, his Lambo. Just a regular old day for him to jump in his Lamborghini to come to the card party. Okay, y'all? So when we were getting ready to leave the card party, Lady Genesis, he said, darn, it's pouring down raining. I'm going to have to catch an Uber. I don't want to drive my car in the rain because it's so low and the streets are so dark. You know, when you live up in the boonies, in the hills, I don't want to risk, and his car, actually, that Lamborghini, y'all, is still sitting. He told me the other day while I was with him, the car is still sitting at our other friend's house. He said, I told you that joint probably going to sit there for like a month. That you have that many options that it's okay for you that your Lamborghini is sitting at someone else's house. I hope you guys are listening to what I'm saying here. So we said, don't get an Uber. We'll take you home. Now, granted, it was a little out of the way, but here's what's wrong with most of y'all. Most people won't go a little out of their way. Let me tell you why I wanted to take him home. Because sometimes you need to be around people who already are way ahead of you and earn an income earning, Mama Nisi, so that you can hear the way that they talk. So he was having a business conversation. He got a phone call. And then he began to ask us questions in the car. And then he started talking about, let me tell y'all what he started talking about. He started talking about the new nanny that they got. And there was something that lit up inside of me. There was something that lit up inside of me. Now, we don't need a nanny per se. But also when I was at my entrepreneurs speakers business meeting 2 days, Mary Powell, another mentor of mine, my mentor Marcus, he's like my brother. He's like my younger brother. He's 13 years younger than me or something like that, right? But Brother Marcus is younger than me, but he's my mentor. And he was like, yeah, I could do my own laundry, but I don't. I could cook my own meals, but we don't. I could clean my own house, but I don't. And there's something magical that happens when you are around people who see it bigger. And let me tell you why. He said, why would I do my own laundry when I can pay someone to do my laundry so that it frees up my time to work on my dreams? So you need to understand that they're not bragging or boasting. They're saying those things to light or spark the baby inside of you. And I said to myself, Deborah, I believe we need somebody to come and do our laundry. And then he said, what you do? He said, what you do is you don't take money from the money that you have sitting in the bank. You make a plan to earn more income, to go towards that. So in the class, he said, just like I want to buy Michael McDonald, who's a friend of ours, is selling one of his Rolex watches. It's the presidential or something like that, right? He said, I want to buy Michael's Rolex. He said, but I'm not going to, do I have the money? I don't know, Paul. How much money are we talking about? $25,000, $30,000 for the watch? How much is the watch, Paul? Because I know you're listening. And he said, I'm not going to go in my bank account into my current income that takes care of me and my family. I'm going to design something to sell so that I could buy the watch. Let me just go back. Let me just read. Never mind. Let me just, how much is enough? How much is enough? How much is enough? I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm not the same person. I'm not the same Nina. So if you're treating me like I was the same Nina that you was hanging out with a week ago, I'm not that same girl. And then what happens is people get stuck and they want to treat you or remember like who you used to be, who you were. I'm not that girl. I'm not the same Nina from a month ago. I'm not the same Nina from a week ago. Because every time I am around people who are doing way more than me, I leap. How much is enough? How much is enough? Don't just pull a figure out of the sky. Don't just sit here. I just want an extra $10,000. Don't just pull a figure out of the sky. Do it right. When you're finished, you'll be glad you did. Make the list, y'all. This exercise will also help you to develop a more disciplined mind. And at this point, you might be thinking, this section doesn't even concern you. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That's right, Deb. I can't unhear what I hear. I can't unhear people talking about their pool and their pool maintenance and the nannies and the people that come and do the laundry and the people that come and do this and the people that come. They don't have a care in the world because money answers all things. Money answers all things. Money answers all things. Money answers all things. Why wouldn't somebody want to get on a Zoom with me? if I can show them that money answers all things. And because money answers all things, let's get you some more money. If you're ready to earn more money, let me see you put money in the comments. We're not just reading this book just to be reading it just to be fluffy. We're reading this book. That's right. Get a driver. Get a driver. You know why we need a driver? So that you don't have to have the stress of driving. You know why you need to get a driver? Because I can get work done while I'm driving. Money answers all things. Don't just pull a figure out of the sky. This exercise will help you develop a more disciplined mind. And at this point, you might be thinking this exercise is not for you because you already are too deeply in debt to start accumulating a sizable amount of money. But you will be happy to know that we have a great idea which will help you deal with the problem as well. Furthermore, you'll be delighted to know that in many situations, and yours may be one of them, a person can become wealthy even if he or she never earns any more money than they are earning currently. I hope y'all are listening in. Some of you, it won't even take you to earn more than what you're currently earning, right? It says, furthermore, delighted to know that in many situations, and yours could be one, right? That thought alone should encourage you, that thought alone should encourage you to continue reading. That thought alone should encourage you to keep reading. By now, you should have completed your list. Your assignment after tonight is to write your list of all the things that you want out of life, and do not put an amount that you need to purchase for those things over the next year, all based off of what you currently earn. You have to see yourself where you want to be. It's 6:36. I got a few minutes. See yourself where you want to be. How much you want to spend on your clothes. Stop being so dang cheap. We got to stop looking like 25 years ago. I had this for 25 years. We could tell. It is 2025. And do you understand that the first thing people do when they look at you to do business with you is look at you and what you got on? They look at your hair. They look at your timepiece. They look at what you're driving. Now clear your mind. So it says, by now you should have completed your list. We're not finished our list right now. And arrived at figures. So take a pen to paper and write that number down in bold figures. Don't write it small. Write it big. Write it big. Now clear your mind of that idea and move on with me to another very important idea. Even if it does not apply to your particular situation, it is worth thinking through anyway, because you certainly have many friends and associates to whom it does apply, and you will be able to share it with them. I'm going to explain this idea to you as if you were a married person with a family to support, and you are either the sole breadwinner or an important contributor. One of the principal reasons for wanting the amount of money that you desire is to provide for your family, and not just in an adequate manner. After all, you want them to live life to its fullest. As long as you live and are able to follow the plan outlined in this book, you will be able to do as you want with respect to your family. However, if you really stop and think about it, you will very likely agree that you would want your family to live the good life, even if you were suddenly removed from the picture. Wouldn't you? Jokingly, you might say, no, who cares if I'm gone? But this is not a joking matter. This is a very serious matter. Of course you care, and I know it, and so do you. If you're alive and healthy, you will create this wealth for your estate. But what if you die or are permanently disabled? Our society has taken care of that situation. We have life insurance and we have disability insurance. You might be saying to yourself, life insurance, what a ripoff. This guy, Bob Proctor, really doesn't know where he is coming from. Well, let me tell you this, that when it comes to life insurance, I believe I can claim to be an authority of sorts, because I've conducted seminars for the insurance industry for almost 10 years, and I have had to close 50,000 people from that industry, close to 50,000 people from that industry go through my seminars. I can assure you that when I say approximately 95% of the people you talk to are almost completely ignorant about insurance, I am not talking about my hat. Many of these people hold important positions in business, industry, government, or professions. And because of their positions, it would be very easy to just assume that they know of whence they speak. But the sad fact of the matter is many of them are either badly misinformed or completely uninformed when it comes to the important subject of life insurance. Understand this. There is no way to replace your income and create a certain and instant estate other than life insurance. Statistics indicate that although most people are uninsured, that vast majority of people, at least 90%, are dangerously underinsured. When they die, they leave behind only enough money to pay for their funeral and possibly cover their family's living expenses for 1 year. The unfortunate part is that for a relatively small sum of money, these people could have had their financial affairs set up in such a way that if something did happen to them, their financial goals would be reached by their families automatically. Since this book is designed to help you reach a substantial financial goal, I felt duty bound to include the information on life insurance. The book could not be complete without it. Keep in mind that there are only two ways to earn money: people at work or money at work. People at work or money at work. People at work or money at work. So I'm going to stop right there. And we're going to start back on page 39 when we meet again on next Monday. And I want to encourage you all to get that sheet done and if you've missed it, go back and listen to what I said about the list that you need to make for yourself so that you can now envision how much is enough. And we're going to go through the rest of this. I believe, we're going to get through chapter 2 next week because it's not that much left. We will finish this. I promise y'all. And I want to share this with you all. You want to be careful. There are a lot of people who fake who they are when they're around you because they want to be around you. They want you to believe that they are mentally someone that they're not. They are mentally bound, but they like being around you. And so they act like they're not mentally bound, but you can tell, you always know. I mean, and I'm just polite most times with people who are, but let me tell you, I was watching Nehemiah take his daughters to another one of our friends' houses to go to their pool party. Their kids were having a birthday party in the pool party, something like that, pool party, right? And I said to myself, I'm excited about being connected to, even though most of these people are younger than me and young enough for me to be there, I could be their moms. But I want friends on a level that one pulls me up, but then I want people that are in common with me. So he can take his kids to his friends' houses, to their pool. He got a pool, they got a pool. As a matter of fact, Neil got 2 pools. He got one at the mansion, he got one at his house. I need you all to understand what this book says about you, so that when you leave this book, you don't leave the same. Don't let this be another book club. Don't let this be another book you read. And it's like, oh, we finished that book and she read it so good. And no, you need to know what you already are. You're born wealthy. You're born abundant. You're born, plentiful. You're born having a great deal of money and assets. We're born. I want to be around people, right, Paul, who think at the same level as me or higher. I don't want to have to be around a bunch of people and you got to keep trying to elevate the way they think. You got to keep elevating the way they think because they still thinking Dollar Tree. We'll go to the Dollar Tree and just buy it from the Dollar Tree. And I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with Dollar Tree. Hear what I said. But you got to now elevate your mind and understand who you already are. Who you already are. All right, so I'm getting off of here because I want to get a breather for a hot second. Right. There you go. Because Marcus talked about that too. Having unequally yoked friendships. I don't want that. I don't want that. Not in this season. So the same way you don't want to have an unequally yoked partner, you don't want to have unequally yoked friends. So think bigger, faster. All right. And so I hope that you all are registered for book club Saturday. Let me make sure we put that on the screen, Paul. I hope that they're all book registered for for Bible study. on Saturday, Bible study on Saturday, right? And if you are not, you got to make sure that you message us Bible study and we will send you the link to get registered so that you will have the Zoom link. All right, because it will not be on our normal 67806. It's not going to be on my normal Zoom link. It's not going to be on the normal Zoom. All right, so you want to make sure that you go and it's cursed or called. We're talking about generational curses this Saturday, cursed or called. So you're going to make sure that you get the link to register for Bible study. All right, then I want to make sure that we are connected on all of my social media platforms. Let's make sure we're connected to on all of my social media platforms. Number one, start by subscribing to this YouTube, right? Subscribe. Don't get off of here without subscribing to this YouTube. Then you want to make sure you're following me on Instagram at The Real Nina Moorer. The Real Nina Moorer. Go follow me on The Real Nina Moorer. On Facebook, all of my names are pretty much, you guys, consistent on every platform that I'm on, Nina Rochelle Moorer, so that when somebody meets me out in the public, they don't have to wonder, well, what was your Instagram again? It's my name. All right, Nina Rochelle Moorer. You want to follow me on TikTok as the Wellness Queen and Nina Moorer. I am consistent on all of my platforms. All right, you guys. So listen, I'm so glad we had this time together. And if you're enjoying this book and believing that we're going to another level, and you understand and know it in your heart of hearts now that you were born rich, I want you to go ahead and type in the words rich in the comments. Just type in the words rich in the comments. All right, you guys. So listen, enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be kind to one another. Do a good deed and pay it forward. And I want you to always remember that God loves you and I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Good night and God bless you all. We'll see you next Monday.